channel point economy, and it looks like we are gonna get started. So Battlefield, not a surprising pick, not a Yoshi story, and already with a down smash to start. Good percentage from Bbatts, and he is more than happy.
Pressure.
Gonna get some more percent there. Kind of a weird DI to try to get an Omset tech, I think. Gets the reverse forward air too, so should be able to close out this edge guard.
Oh, the Omset tech. Okay, so no turnaround grab this time, but, you know, there's time in the set to kind of make that adjustment. Yet again, knows that JSalt is going to be good at finding those techs, but Bbatts even better at finding the first stock of grand finals here.
Yeah, and, you know, this grab could be a pretty big opening, but does get the CC down tilt and gets a little bit of chip damage. You know, every rebit helps in a floaty matchup. DI's outside of the forward air too, so...
Oh, he clips!
Yeah. You know, this matchup so different from the Puff set that we saw earlier, but, you know, the scrappiness of Bbatts kind of is still there. We still see these situations where Bbatts wants to fight.
You know, it's kind of funny because I was this close to saying that the matchup almost looks kind of similar to how it went with Dawson, but the only caveat is that the two of them are actually hitting each other way more.
Yeah, it's a little bit less aerial floating. Oh my god, if that combo, he still got the grab off of it, so whatever. He's gonna get a third aerial? Oh my gosh. Racking up really good damage.
Yeah, needle aerial right here. Catches the jump as well, but float's gonna bring him back to the ledge. Air dodge up just gets snuffed out entirely by JSalt, and advantage obtained for the Sheik.
Yeah, no, I like, you know, JSalt has been deciding to sometimes put Bbatts on the ledge rather than pressuring the ledge, and I really like that decision just because Peach, you know, one of the worst ledge options in the game, just kind of really slow. Her being on ledge is almost as bad as being off stage. Like, she just doesn't really have much. And Nair grab, nice stuff, gets the percent, and even 67
reset.
Yeah. Love that edge cancel too. Look at this movement from JSalt. You make me feel good about my bet so far. So
this market manipulation is not looking that bad right now.
Yeah.
Oh, doesn't grab ledge too. Probably was holding in. Doesn't amount to too much.
That Jigglypuff wanted in the previous bet.
Yeah.
Gets
needle to stop the back air, presumably out of Bbatts, but resets the situation. Finds the ledge with the poof. Back on platform, big pressure, but does not matter when JSalt can get pushed off and just find the kill with a hard back air.
Yeah, I actually, again, love the awareness from JSalt. Gets hit by the down smash on the shield and knows that it will push him off the ledge and he can do a back air to punish. So it's an out of shield punish that you don't see as often because, like, knocking people off of a platform is usually what people do to pressure people. Really, really good understanding of the game. Just a high level moment that you kind of maybe don't think about, but it led to an extra 20-30%.
Yeah, it's super good too to be aware of like that turning into a slide off versus forcing you into tumble as well, because a lot of those situations you just kind of shield and look for maybe a shield drop into aerial or something like that. But, you know, pretty unique remix that we don't see all too often as a defensive maneuver outside of just the traditional slide off aerial.
The way you can distinguish whether you're going to fall back and tumble or you're just going to slide off is the direction you're facing, by the way. So if the character is facing forwards, they won't tumble, but if they fall backwards, like a person would in real life, you know, they're not expecting it, they fall back. So, you know, JSalt aware in a split second that my character is facing towards the ledge, I'm going to have time, I'm not going to be spinning in the air, trying to wiggle out, and it's a big deal. But speaking of big deals, he is off stage, and this is getting close, but the backer will do it.
Yeah, I was just about to say Bbatts maybe getting a little bit too aggressive in the air, especially with him at high 100% there. Situation kind of came up where he clips JSalt with the down smash, and I would think maybe with as quick as he gets with these floats, just kind of snag the ledge and then force Sheik into a panic option. That kind of is where I was thinking he was going with that. Not exactly what ended up happening, and it looks like instead he's going to be going to Dreamland for game 2 counter pick.
Yeah, and already we see a clean 42% from JSalt, but I was going to say Bbatts kind of answers back, and this is, again, a very scrappy, very aggressive start, which is what we've come to know and love from Bbatts as a player.
Yeah, back air off Up air's not going to kill. I mean, of course, counter pick coming into full effect here. Hopefully converts into survivability for much, much longer for Bbatts here. But JSalt, again, just kind of like playing just fundamentally sound overall. Loses first stock right there. But high percent, probably one forward air. If it's not Omsatect, is going to do it.
I really like the positional style that JSalt kind of plays. Like, it's sort of patient, but then like really quick. It feels like it fits. Again, you know, I've been talking about Sheik as a ninja, but it fits like Sheik as a character, and it reminds me, like, what is your thought on the whole? Like, what does your character say about your personality? Like, are you a believer that, like, if he got his jump, by the way, there, so has to force Versal, does get back on stage though, but
that's actually huge too that Bbatts made it back. The parasol end lag, if it's open, is like something absurd, like 30 frames or something like that. So you know, good on Bbatts for kind of making that recovery happen. JSalt probably just thinking he could roll up and take the stock, but not quite. To answer your question though, I do think that it maybe comes out more so in playstyle than it does in character choice per se. Because, you know, we got some lame foxes out there, and we got some cool guy foxes, just like we got cool guy and boring players for everyone.
Yeah, we definitely have some lame foxes, that's for sure. But we are definitely seeing, I would say, two cool guy playstyles here, where some of the platform movement that JSalt has been doing is just, like, beautiful. Like, he'll do these kind of, like, shield pivot, shield drops, where he'll just quickly turn around and be, like, navigating a platform in just a crazy way. But, you know, Bbatts, we've been kind of singing his praises all night long. You know, just such a cool approach to Peach as a character and, like, using her advantages in such an interesting way.
Yeah, JSalt, though, with all the advantages in the world, potentially trying to just close this out and shut up our entire talk about prophecies, curses, and blessings with a 3-0 here, but needs to win this game still. Pretty large advantage, though, to do it. Double needles, yeah.
That was looking bad. It's uphill. No one would deny that this is uphill, but it is still anyone's game. You know, Bbatts, the son, the father, the Holy Peach. We need a Bbatts win here. We need the sets to keep going. We need this to be the longest Xanadu. We need people to do exclamation match Reno in the chat. It's all there. It's all there. Yeah. I'm saying it. So
at your disposal. For free, by the way, guys. Just saying. Hey, it went up a little bit though, so it worked.
It did. I know. I saw that we have production in the chat through Stale Moves, aka Bender, giving the pitch to the people. You know, so this is a pretty big opening though. Gets a solid 75 on a stage where you can quickly get an edge guard.
Yeah, absolutely, and that should just be just find a forward smash. I mean, if you got the golf club, I think is the one you wanted there, to send at the angle.
Like, what the hell was that?
But it's kind of weird because it's like, you know, every time it seems like Bbatts finds this. Wow, what a turn up! I'm getting jumbled up with my words right now, but turns around with the item and then goes for a nair. I think most people in that situation would have expected just a ledge grab instant.
Yeah, gonna get an up B out of here, but great tech. Such a consistent thing from JSalt throughout all of these sets is just the beautiful defensive play. But Bbatts might be able to make something happen. Gets the max range down smash there, and Randall making things a little more interesting. Still in play, but doesn't end up mattering.
Wow. Yeah, huge two-stock advantage now for Bbatts. And I was saying earlier, kind of the thing that makes me a little nervous about seeing this momentum shift out of Bbatts is, like, we've seen so many times in these first two games versus JSalt where he just gets these massive openings, but then JSalt just puts it all together much faster and then just gets an entire stock before Bbatts can really say anything about it.
Yeah, no, I think some of the matchup advantages really start to come into play there. We're just kind of like the way she can kind of control space and then quickly sort of weave together openings is very, very powerful. This should be a stock, but that DI making it a little difficult. Still cleans it up though.
Yeah, and it's exactly what I was saying before. You know, Bbatts out the gate swinging, but maybe a little bit slower on the recovery here as he rounds the corner, and JSalt kind of stemming the bleeding and taking almost an advantage now, actually with a small percent advantage. Not for long, though.
Yeah, this could be the stock. Oh, just needed to press R instead of control stick. What are your thoughts on this stage? I know chat talking a bit about it, saying like questioning a bit. It did seem to be working out for him initially. Now maybe not as much.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's like my short answer would be like I feel like it maybe doesn't work for the character, but it works for the player. So, in this matchup, of course, and we've talked about it over and over, it's a challenging matchup for Peach for sure. But for a player like Bbatts who plays as aggressive, oh my god, he knew.
Oh,
and so did JSalt. JSalt knew too.
JSalt's just in there,
But yeah, like for someone who plays as aggressive and fast as Bbatts, yeah, Yoshi's is kind of like the stage for fast players,
Yeah, I know. And I think just it rewards like the small openings so much more. Oh, okay.
We take those on the board.
Monkey paws crawling back down. He has had so many moments, both for and against him, to kind of crawl his way back into potentially resetting this set. So, where are we going next?
The VGBootCamp remain intact this time. Dude, I have no idea where we're going. I mean, because every time I've said, like, I feel like FD is completely off the table, it's like, loading FD. So I really have no clue. And I think that's what's been making this Xanadu so fun. And it's FD again. So.
Ooh, look at them dancing with this turnip, both getting their turns to grab it and go for the down air. I noticed this was something he was going for earlier, these, like, kind of down airs in neutral, which isn't something you see as often.
Why are they on FD?
I mean, it's not a great stage for Sheik, so... But he's the one who picked it, so I guess it's not so bad in this matchup. I think, like, in this matchup, they both don't gain a lot from FD, and so maybe Sheik gains just a bit more. Ooh, that should be a...
Perhaps it's kind of on paper advantage. Oh, yeah, that's definitely going to seal it. But, perhaps maybe the on-paper advantage of, Sheik likely wins this matchup to some extent. And it's like, if we just simplify our neutral down to its barest elements, then yes, I will be able to win on FD.
No pun intended. Because we've been seeing a fair amount of back airs from Bbatts, at least in the previous matchup, but get a little bit of chop right now. JSalt finding an opening, getting a very solid amount of damage and stage control in the process, and even calls out with the dash attack. Oh, there's a down air neutral again. It's just not what I'm used to seeing, but clearly JSalt knows something about the matchup that me, a non-Sheik main, does not.
Yeah, Bbatts going for a lot of down tilt and neutral, perhaps just looking to space out poorly spaced aerial from JSalt. It seems to have worked a few times. You can kind of get to it out of crouch as well, and it's a pretty solid combo starter. We got to kind of see what the answers, though, are for Bbatts, because JSalt's just racking up the damage, and it might be... Oh.
What are you doing, dude? What are you doing?
Okay, that was the edge guard he went for earlier that I thought was very, very unique in that a lot of times you just reset with the turnaround in hand. JSalt maybe kind of being aware of that working the last time and kind of dips a little bit further down. Bbatts makes the edge guard really, really awkward at that point and, misses the entire stock there.
I think so much of what would be frustrating if you're a Bbatts fan is the amount of times that Bbatts tried to pressure JSalt on the ledge there was a little outrageous. Like, JSalt's just sitting there on the edge, he's doing these invincible forward airs and stuff, and Bbatts is like, no, this is the moment where my down air hits, and he took something like 60% from that, and now it's uphill, it's looking bad. If you're a Bbatts fan, I don't know.
You're probably living on the poverty line in VGBootCamp right now, but
a stitch could change everything if he gets one. But it looks like not only is it not a stitch, it is also not going to be the year of Bbatts. Good stuff to JSalt. What a set! Don't pressure Sheik on the ledge like that.
3-1 for JSalt. I mean, again, like you said, as much as we were singing praises of Bbatts throughout this pretty wacky run, JSalt just kind of looked through and through consistent. With the exception, I will say, of the first set that we watched versus Travioli, which was just a very, very, very bizarre set. But
Yeah.
JSalt kind of just looking ever present throughout his winner's side, kind of handles that set pretty well.